Hello again, this is a collection of Roco HO scale rolling stock from the Deutsche Reichsbahn. In this video I'm going to be comparing the older blue and orange boxed models at the bottom there with a retooled version in the Roco professional range. On the second-hand market, the professional one would maybe cost you an extra maybe 10, 20, maybe even 30% more than the models below. But is it worth it? We're going to check it out in this video. So just picked at random, I have this, which is a third class coach from the Deutsche Reichsbahn. It's a type CI. And this one is 44801 in the Roco range. Let's get it out and we'll check out what we've got inside. So this second-hand models actually come with a set of destination boards as well, which you can add on to the model. They are made of plastic, but they look really good and the printing on them is great. So this little coach was part of a set of very similar rolling stock that Roco made in around about 1985 to the early 1990s. I think actually they're a bit shorter than they should be. And I think possibly not quite to scale either. I'm not 100% sure of that, so if you know, let me know in the comments below. But what we have here is certainly a very lovely looking third class coach. Starting on the top and the roof, it's painted silver. These are all extra parts you add in. I saw the instruction sheet was saying that you could take these from the sprue and add them up here. So it's got a lot of little vents, and I guess these are gas lamps. We've also got a lovely veranda here made of plastic, a little brakeman's wheel there, and we've got this little bracket here. I think that was for a gas lamp perhaps. The coupling is very typical of older Fleischmann ones. It's hanging out the front here, but we do have that in an M pocket and it is cantilevered. Although this one has the brake pipes fitted, which does mean it restricts the amount of movement that this can move. It does move more if you don't have them in it. While we're looking on the underside, you can see that the buffers are really fine, very nicely detailed there, but they are just made of plastic and are part of the main chassis piece. Looking down the side, the green finish is absolutely superb, and it has the black lining as well. The numbers are very clear, and even the numbers up here, the type CI and the other specifications, is very nicely printed. It's so tiny though you can barely see it. The Deutsche Reichsbahn logo in the middle is very good too, as well as the running number. And I like these windows, they're very clear, and you can see inside the model that we've got a full interior there in brown with some seating. And we also have brown here to represent wooden surrounds around the windows. Down this end we've got a toilet here, another third class, and we have another little veranda here with all the little railings, which looks great. There's even a little handle just on the side of the carriage there. And down in the chassis we can see that it's got some printing down here too, which is really good. And talking of the chassis, we've got these steps coming down. We've got lovely looking axle boxes and springs here, that looks really good. Brakes in line with the wheels, and we've got spoked wheels as well. They revolve kind of okay, not great. In the middle we've got a box and what looks like a dummy dynamo going to this wheel. But it doesn't actually attach onto the axle, but it does look very convincing when you look at it from the side. I think possibly this model has had the buffers painted silver by the previous owner. As we look in the veranda here, we've got some more printing and a lovely flush fit glazing on the door there, along with flush fit glazing all the way down the side of the carriage. Underneath is a representation of planking as well, and you can see Roco made in Austria. So this is a very impressive model, and considering it was made probably in the late 80s, and so it would make it around about 40 years old, I'm really at a loss to fault this model. It looks really good. So let's move on to the other one in the orange box. So this is a baggage car, a type GWL from the DRG. This one is number 44809. Let's get this one out and we'll check it out too. This baggage car, unsurprisingly, matches very closely to the coach, and it has the same lovely finish on the green, and we also have black vertical lines on this masked out, which look really good, even on the door here. The roof is silver as well, no moulding marks, a very nice colour of silver there and very nicely applied. And this one has, I guess, 2 gas lamps on it. This model benefits from having opening doors. When you look inside, there's nothing in there, it's just a grey floor, but at least it has really nice opening doors. And if you have a look on the side of these doors, they're very thin as well, so it's really good that these actually move back and forth on this little track. Much like the coach, we have the same kind of windows, only this time it's got bars represented just in the moulding. It still has the brown surround. The printing on it is also really good. You can see that this is a type GWL. And we also have the Deutsche Reichsbahn logo here, very nicely presented, along with the run number 9359. There's also printing down here on the chassis, just like with the coach. And I think actually this is probably the same chassis as well, although we don't have the box and the dynamo on this one, but we do have the brakes in line with the wheels. It's the same kind of spoke wheels, and we've got really nice spring detail on this one as well. At each end, the veranda is slightly different in that it's solid, but we also have printing inside there, and I really like these little tiny corner brackets up here as well. It's got some fine handrails here too, and a little kick down plate here above the coupling, which, like the coach, is in an M pocket and it does cantilever, but this one haven't had these extra pipes added in. Again, it suffers from not being able to move as much. So it's another model I can't really fault. I think it might have been shortened as well, but it certainly looks really good and it matches with the coach fantastically. But let's move on to the last one. So this one is slightly newer than the others. This is in the Roco professional range. You can see it's got the new logo here as well. It's still made in Austria though, and this one has the number 44805, which was an overlap. Older models also had this number. So let's get this out and we'll check it out too. So this model still has its extra parts sealed up in the bag from the factory. So that's going to have the little things for the roof which haven't been fitted. So you can see that it has holes in the roof here as well. And it has some handrails and other little brake pipes and things like that. So it might not have quite as many detailed parts as the other models we just had a look at, but let's check it out closer up. So this is a model of a Type PW Post L, which was a postal and baggage wagon. You can see here on the printing it's got the little slot to put letters into. What a cool idea. You could actually post straight into the post van if it was in the platform. This is another lovely little model, but it does look as though the roof is actually made of just grey plastic, whereas the other ones were painted silver. The green finish on this I think is probably exactly the same as the models we've just seen. I can't see any difference there. The printing is pretty good as well and just as clear as we have seen, although possibly a bit brighter, and that's really noticeable in the Deutsche Reichsbahn logo here. We still have the same brown on the windows, but there's a bit more mesh on this one here, and obviously it's split, and you can see the bars more defined on these two windows. This one also has opening doors, and inside we have a brown floor now. This part is partitioned off, and inside here we can see a little seat and a table. So it does have a full interior on this one. But it's amazing that we have glazing on these windows. Possibly you can see through here to the door on the other side, where you can see that the window, the glazing is just glued in there, and yet it still opens and closes as well over that window, which is quite incredible, I think. At this end, much like the model we've just seen, the veranda is closed off, but we do have some really nice handrails here moulded into the plastic and printing there on the inside wall, and we also see bars on the door as well. Very similar buffers here and a kick down plate. The couplings are newer versions than what we've just seen, but they're still in NEM pockets and they do articulate. This one obviously moves more because it doesn't have the pipes added on. We also have printing down here on the chassis. We've got a little set of steps coming down here. And the axle boxes and springs are just as detailed, I think, as what we've just seen. And also the brakes are in line with the wheels. You can see that these wheels are much brighter and they revolve better as well. So they've upgraded the wheels on this, that's for sure. At this end, we've got a pretty plain end to it, but it does have some holes. So I guess we've got some extra parts to put in here from the bag I showed you a minute ago. And the buffers are very similar too. Underneath there's not a lot of detail. It has some planking detail and some brake gear detail, but obviously it's dominated by these cantilever couplings. So overall this is a really good van as well, very nicely finished and with a lovely amount of extra parts on it as well. So I guess that leads me on to the question of whether you should look out for these professional models, the one at the front here, or just settle for the ones with the orange boxes, the ones at the back, which are a bit older. I actually think there's no difference here. I can't see anything that would make me think that the one at the front is worth more money. Okay, it's got the newer couplings, the wheels are just slightly better, and some of the printing is a bit brighter. But overall, it's just not much different really, and considering it's new tooling, I don't really see what's new over the other ones, unless it is actually scale length and the other ones in the back are shortened, in which case if you want absolute realism then the one in the front's for you. But if you're just looking for some good looking rolling stock which doesn't break the bank, then I'd go for the older orange and blue ones and save yourself a bit of money. And talking of money, how much would you expect to spend on these models? Well, the two at the back, I got them for £10 each, which I think was a great price. And the one at the front was £12.50, so £2.50 more, but I don't think it was really worth that extra money. And if that model was available in the orange boxes, I probably would have just got that instead. However, that said, the couplings are different on the front one, and they probably would come in at more than £2.50. So if you have to swap out those couplings, that might actually cost you more. I guess what I'm saying is there's no real difference. Don't sweat it if you've got the professional one versus the older one. They all look great and they're absolutely fantastic models to add to your collection. But that's just what I think. What do you think of these models? Let me know in the comments below. And do you think it's worth paying extra for the professional one, or would you settle for the older blue and orange box ones? Also, if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe for more. I'll put these on the turntable so you can see all the way around, but that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See ya.
So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo, model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo.